Namaste to all. Hope all of y'all are doing great. So today we're going to talk about kids and television. It's a very, very important topic to each and every one. Um, so I would like to discuss on it, and I would like to share my thoughts. Um, I would like to also begin with a motto for the day, that is, books are the basis of purity. Uh, and that's what I believe in. No matter how many things we try to inculcate in children in terms of their well being, somehow there is this little trap that's into the house, and little ones get easily attracted to it, and at times they get deviated through such habits at home, and that's nothing but televisions. Um, every moment we try to help our children to grow in or to lift themselves up in a confident manner, or to introduce a lot of other um, auspicious things at home for them to inculcate good manners or to build their character. But even after we introduce these auspicious things into our house, we must still be careful to avoid things that we pollute the body and mind. So, what is this all about? And the one activity that most single handedly destroys serenity, purity, and good sense is watching television. Uh, you might think that it is, you know, mm, not the right statement, but uh, this is what I believe in. And I'll tell you how it is. It's so crucial when you actually sit down and think about it. Countless reports, statistics, and studies have shown that television has bad effects. I'm sure each one of you all can surf out on Google, or to go into a library, pick on a book, and to read out how this actually um, hinders a child's brain and uh, their health. So please go ahead and do this activity. You will really uh, benefit out of it, and your children would love to have um, the atmosphere where there's no television once you start with such activities. So please do that. So yes, let me continue it further. Well, when it comes to uh, you know, I may talk about just the negative side of it. What I feel is that television in total is negativity, but one might argue that it is all right to watch good programs on television at the Discovery Channel, if which gives in much knowledge about the nature or the animals out there or the living. Uh, or maybe a similar educational program. Many people feel such programs help children improve academically, mm, but this is a false argument, um, because even if children pick up a few facts about nature or science, um, they do not become more intelligent or creative uh, as a result. And uh, this is what I feel. And uh, television encourages passive learning. The tube is one-way download from the screen to the child. Um, the screen to the child is not just about the child out there; it's the mind, and it it's not just one way. Receiving knowledge is definitely not just one way. It's both the way, hand in hand, right? So reading a book or um, uh, hearing on or encouraging to do a set of activities to gain information and to create a mental picture um, is way more than to just sit in front of the TV and to receive the knowledge. Don't you all think so? Yeah. So, uh, you know, to have them create their own picture in their mind makes a lot of difference than to just sit down in front of a television which has um a total uh, pack of or a set of a picture or movements out there, and to just look at it and to just receive it, uh, where you feel that it is just getting into your mind and there's nothing much to work as a person, where there's no much where I can create something of my own and to showcase it. So, you know, this is something that we as parents should um, look into and help our children to uh, to create that kind of ambience in them and to help them to showcase their own thoughts. So that's definitely going to uh, help them in many other ways. Yes. And what else? As a result, the benefits and joys of reading are greater than just watching, uh, the box out there. Ideally, uh, children love to play and they want to explore uh, in many ways. So I request each and every parent to let that happen. Let them spend time, let them go out, play as much as they want to. Because there's so much of learning when they go out and when they start playing, when they start observing things out in the nature. So it is not. You know uh, just playing. There's so many things. They have friends around, they have people of different age groups. There's so much to learn, to experience, to gather information and to practice it in their own lives. So yes, I would encourage parents to really really uh, let your children out there to play in the nature. That's one of the best thing that we could do, and that's what I believe in. um, what else, to say? Uh, the other part would also be that you might say that there are certain educational programs that really um, help us to mm, you know to gain knowledge. But does any child stop watching a television after they're done watching with a Discovery Channel? Yeah. And another example is that studies show that a glass of wine, um, a glass of wine a day is good for health. It may be true, but who stops with just a glass of wine? That's exactly what television does to children. Um, a little educational TV inspires children to watch more television, and they won't necessarily discriminate between educational and non educational programs. Um, Furthermore, even the educational programs are littered with dozens and dozens of commercial ads, which gets into the child's mind, and they really want to pick on everything that gets to pop on television. It can just be a piece of biscuit out there, um, or a piece of chocolate, not just with food habits, but also in terms of character building. Um, it's not just it's just not about um, you know the commercial ads or the movies or programs. they're just not designed for little kids. It is just not designed for a set of individual, or it is not just designed for a particular a set of age group. So everything that pops out, uh, it does make a, a great amount of influence towards the child, and that's what the child is going to learn, and that's what he or she is going to carry it forward. Studies show that children are very impressionable in their early years, um, and are easily influenced by their environment and association. So we must be very careful with the atmosphere that we have at home. Please take care of that part. Um, to also add on to it, watching television wastes not just time. Statistically, there's it is a proven factor that the average child watches 4 hours of television daily. In contrast, parents spend around 4 minutes per week in meaningful conversation with children, which is something to really sit back and think, and to reassure our own children, because it's just the contrast. And we could imagine where 4 hours of television daily to 4 minutes of conversation with the child as a parent. You could see the drastic difference that's happening, which is definitely not a good mm, um, environment, or to have a good social environment. They would become more antisocial, they would become more isolated, and their emotions, or um, or with whatever they want to um, feel like doing it, it is only with the characters that's played, it's only with the characters that's shown in the television or just the box out there. So that's one part we should look into. Furthermore, it's um, what then can the child accomplish in life uh, just with the television in front of them? What more can the child accomplish in life? This question should be repeated on and on and on with every step that we take into the life of parenting. Um, we all know that it is not just the way we think or the way we say, it is also the kind of things that we practice, or to live in, and then to preach. Yes, all the available leisure time is spent watching television or playing computer games. Hobbies such as music, art, cooking, dance, um, drama, what more? Sports. So all of this is just taken away. Why not? We have a beautiful subject that is gardening. Um, all of this uh, is just been ignored. It is these subjects are not been given importance, uh, whereas it should be vice versa in children. Um, um, if if a child goes to school 8 hours and sleep 8 hours a day, um, and sits in front of the screen for hours a day, then there's only a couple of hours left, which uh, where they would be again occupied with their daily routine, like um, uh, taking care, grooming themselves, to take a shower, to do their daily necessary things, their you know, w- with their time to time activities, like their food, to have their food on time, to get dressed, to go out for a tuition or any such thing. So what else is left out? Well, where is the time left out for them to explore themselves? What is the kind of uh, schedule, or what is the kind of timetable that they have to sit down and, or maybe to explore their own thoughts and ideas and to showcase it? That's a big question. Uh, Besides caring uh, with very sensitive topics when it comes to children, um, with their emotional well-being, um, it's also necessary for us to know that um, laziness in children is more evident and more of a prominent um, way of living their life is just because of the television, because it has nothing to do, it is just to sit down and to watch. um, so there's no physical activity, lifestyle uh, gets destroyed, lifestyle gets destroyed, creativity and imagination skills are completely um, vanished. And what more to say, children who watch a lot of television become mentally lazy from not paying attention towards anything that's happening around them. uh, this is one of the major problems. They get insensitive towards things that's happening around them. um, to look into that aspect, television is one side transmission of anything it could be. It's just a box there to the mind of the child. Watching a television, uh, intellectually, I don't think there's anything challenging. Just not that part. Reading a book or doing reading a book, or it can be anything if the child is interested in doing maths, science. There's so much of mm, uh, 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 there's so much of creativity and imagination that goes into the topic. But whereas when you compare a child sitting in front of the television, you can balance it out. You can actually jot down points with these two situations. um, what do we do? So what do we actually try to do with children? Children who spend hours in front of the computer or television, um, they lose interest in studies, and that is why teachers uh, feel really hard for them to get in children in front of the books. Yes, that is a great deal to make the child sit in front of the book and to actually connect with the books has become a big question mark with exclamations. So please, I request each and every parent, develop the habit of reading in front of the children. It is very, very helpful. It's okay if they don't sit along with you, but looking at you, uh, observing your movements, or observing your way of lifestyle, children will definitely learn out of it. Um, with that note, creative activities such as music, carpentry, um, sculpture, painting, drama, dance, uh, handicrafts, or whatnot, anything as such, anything into art form. It all depends on the child. He might be interested in sports, he might be interested in other set of things. So we must try to help the child to um, to get into that path, to help them uh, to go ahead with their own interest levels. That is definitely going to help them in their future. Uh, whereas uh, if time is spent on these pursuits, by the time they grow up, children will process a, a, a wealth of knowledge. Not just with that, with their talents and skills, can be uh, they would feel happy. And as time pass by, uh, it's the same with adults. Our mind and body will be conditioned to television, and we will have time to invest with whatever we want to do in life. Thank you so much. If there's something to be shared, please do comment, and we shall definitely discuss about it. Thank you so much.